Welcome to Garden Wise Adventures. My name is Molly, and today is the day after Thanksgiving, and we've got our first real heavy snow. Now, I wouldn't say it's extremely heavy. When I looked outside this morning before it started melting, I think we had probably about 4 inches. And it has melted down, so it's probably about 2 inches right now. And it'll probably mostly be gone by tomorrow or the next day. But I wanted to show you how I use snow effectively on my WaterWise landscape so we can kind of increase our plants' resilience, especially our evergreens. Now, evergreens need winter moisture. If you live in an area where it's really cold and you don't get significant precipitation during the winter, you need to be out watering your evergreen trees. But snow is the perfect way to water them, and let me show you how I use snowfall to help water my evergreen trees. Now, first of all, I wanted just to kind of show you how beautiful it is when it snows. I mean, I'm not a huge snow fan. I'm not a skier. I'm too old. Used to be a skier a long time ago. I don't snowboard any of that. I don't want to injure myself. And I hate driving in snow, but I think snow is absolutely gorgeous. I'd be happy if it snowed like 3 or 4 times in a year, nice heavy snowfall, and then disappeared for a while. But anyway, it is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Now, I just finished shoveling, and I wanted to show you how I shovel. Now, the snow is melting pretty quickly, but you can kind of see what I've done on the driveway. Sorry for the messy garage, but I'm single. I'm the only one who's ever been the one to shovel my walks. I don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of energy. I've got arthritis. And I've had to come up with a way that would, number one, effectively use the snow on my landscape, because I learned from a BYU professor, his name was Phil Allen, that you need to utilize the snow on your landscape to effectively water your plants during the winter. So I learned that, and I wanted to be able to figure out a way to do it without killing myself. And I'll show you a short clip of how I shovel my sidewalk. It's on a hill, but I'll show you how I did that in just a minute. But you can kind of see the long sweeping strokes. I pick my shovel up with heavy snow on it as little as possible. What generally speaking I do is I push the snow. So I push the snow as far as I can get it, then I shove it off to the side. When I have landscape to shove it off into, I shovel it under my trees, especially my evergreen trees. And I've got a pile over here that I did not, it's too far to throw it under that evergreen tree. But trees' roots extend out pretty far, so that tree's roots are going to be watered by this pile of snow. So I shovel a straight line until I can't shovel it anymore, and then I push it off to the side. And I very rarely pick up my shovel. And I do the same on the sidewalks. Let's show you that clip about how I shoveled my hill. Now, this hill is pretty steep. It's got a fence on one side, so I cannot shovel that snow into my landscape. And actually, in our area, it's not legal to shovel snow into the streets, but this street I don't think matters. You can see where the snowplow travels. He travels the same path every single time he plows, and it's usually out about 10 or 20 feet into the street. This is an extremely wide street, so I don't see any problem shoveling the snow off into this street. If I didn't have the fence here, I would shovel it into my landscape so that it would melt into my landscape. But this hill right here took me approximately 5 minutes. And it was very little energy. I didn't really have to stop. Now, this is a very heavy, wet snow. If you live in an area where you don't get a lot of snow, there's different kinds of snow. If you look at this, it can form a nice hard ball, great for snowballs, with very little effort. This snow has a lot of water in it. Now, 1 inch of snow does not equal 1 inch of water. What you need to do is take 1 inch of snow that's not packed down, that's nice, just the way it fell. Take that, measure how deep it is but in inches, see how many inches of snow you have, and then melt that and see how many inches of water you get. A lot of times here in Utah, especially when it's really cold, we get really dry snow. And it's so much easier to shovel. This was a heavy wet snow, so I wasn't able to push my shovel as far as I normally am. Usually I only do 2 or 3 passes on the straight line on this hill, but this time I had to do several because the snow was just too heavy. And you can see along this sidewalk, I've shoveled the snow into my landscape so that we can utilize that water there and not in the street. But once again, we just need to appreciate how beautiful snow is. And this right here, let's see if we can scroll in a little bit. I love how the snow is captured on top of my globe blue spruce. And this is one of the main reasons I got globe blue spruces in the first place. When they were little, they looked like little cupcakes with frosting on top. I think it's just so beautiful. So anyway, that's one reason that I got those globe blue spruces. Now, one other thing to think about is I normally shovel my chat paths, but I have to be very, very careful and leave just a skiff of snow over the top because I don't want to scrape all the material off of my chat paths. They're very hard to shovel. So if you have a path that is used quite often, using chat as a material is not a great option because it's very hard to shovel. But on the opposite end, what is a big benefit is these chat paths are going to be one of the first places to melt. The ground is warm underneath them and they melt pretty quickly. But if you have deep snow and it's below freezing for days in a row and they're not going to melt, I would shovel them. So I think that's it for this video, and I would love to hear if you're in an area that has snow and if you have better ways to shovel that's easier on your body, and if you've ever thought about using snow to help water your plants. So hopefully this video has been helpful for you. If it's been helpful, I hope you like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and go have a wonderful garden adventure.